Hey everybody, welcome to the channel.
Hey guys, we're your hosts, M and J.
And today we're looking at Space Jam: A New Legacy, starring LeBron James and Bugs Bunny. It's a sequel to Space Jam that admittedly no one really asked for, but that's Hollywood for ya. Space Jam was based off of a successful ad campaign by Nike, where Michael Jordan would team up with the Looney Tunes to promote the Air Jordan. So Hollywood decided to capitalize on this momentum by making a movie. Space Jam wasn't exactly a masterpiece, but it is a fun and nostalgic property. As for the sequel, it's also not really a masterpiece. The pacing isn't the best, the villain's motivations were a little confusing to me, and it was also really bloated with cameos, like Warner Brothers just had to go through their entire library. Also, I didn't hear them use the Space Jam theme song, and I was waiting for it, so unless I missed it, that's pretty disappointing. It also felt like they were really bragging a lot about LeBron James. He's definitely had a lot of success in his career, but it kind of felt like Warner Brothers and James made this movie just to talk about how great they are. In the movie, LeBron James wants his son to follow in his footsteps and become a famous basketball player, but his son Dom wants to make video games and has even made one already. But James thinks that video games are just a distraction, so this is causing tension between the two. Meanwhile, there's an algorithm that Warner Brothers has called Algae Rhythm, who is played by Don Cheadle, and he feels underappreciated because apparently he's been coming up with all these movie ideas, but the studio gets credit instead of him, I guess. It's a little confusing. So he wants to team up with LeBron James to basically put him in movies, and this will get him the credit that he wants, because LeBron James is famous, so he can get all of his followers to notice him. So Warner Brothers invites LeBron James to come and talk, and he brings his son along. They ask him about partnering up, and he doesn't just decline, he tells them that it's a really stupid idea, since he wants to keep focusing on basketball, and he doesn't think that athletes make good actors. And he makes fun of the algorithm, so now Al is really mad, and sucks LeBron James and his son into the server, and he forces LeBron James to play a high-stakes game of basketball with him. If James wins, he and his son get to go free, but if Al wins, he, his son, and all of his Twitter followers are gonna get sucked into the server forever. To be honest, this was kind of exhausting, but at least we finally get to the Looney Tunes, when LeBron James has to team up with them for the basketball game. This movie is about 2 hours long, and I really feel that was unnecessary. It took too long to get to the Looney Tunes, and then it took an hour to get to the basketball game. The first hour was taken up with LeBron James and his family, and a bunch of cameos. This movie is drowning in them. Admittedly, I did like some of the DC cameos, but I'd rather just see an animated Wonder Woman movie in this style, or more DC animated universe, than throwing a bunch of Warner Brothers properties in our faces. Some of it was a little awkward. I think we could have survived without a few of these. Like, did we really need the guys from A Clockwork Orange? And was it a great idea to casually put Pennywise right behind a child? Yeah, I'm sure he's here for the basketball game. These guys are here, but they cut out Pepe Le Pew because he's seen as problematic. But can't they just soft reboot him to be a little less aggressive? Just a thought. The little aliens from the first movie made a cameo appearance, but Michael Jordan didn't. Instead, they made a joke with Michael B. Jordan, but it just isn't the same. I think the art style and graphics for the movie were pretty good, with the exception of the CGI renders of the Looney Tunes. Something just didn't translate well, particularly with Lola, although none of them look very good, to be honest. I wish they had just stayed with the 2D versions the entire time. You know, don't fix what isn't broken kind of thing. In the end, no one asked for this, but it's mostly harmless. The self-congratulatory aspect of it was pretty grating, but I did like seeing the Looney Tunes. There's a reason why these characters are so classic, and the story on its own isn't bad. Maybe a little cliched, but not bad. It's a fairly typical story about an overbearing dad who has to learn to let loose and let his son find his own path in life. And the game itself had a lot of visual flair, and again, it's your typical they choke in the first half but then they come back in the second half to win the game. But when the Looney Tunes really cut loose and started having fun with their abilities, it was a lot of fun. So it had its moments, but there was a lot of bad jokes and pretty cringy moments too, to the point where I probably wouldn't recommend it in the end, but that's just our opinion. Although thanks to this film, we ended up finding a 2015 movie starring the Looney Tunes called Rabbit's Run, and we actually had a lot of fun with that movie. I'm not sure how we missed this, but I'm glad we found it. So there's that. Anyway, what were your thoughts on Space Jam? Let us know in the comments. Sorry this video took so long. It's just there was a lot of drama with Masters of the Universe Revelation, so this video ended up on the back burner. So sorry about that. Anyway, before we go, we'd like to give a shout out to our members: Caleb Nelson, Stutania, Tyrant Carnivore, Adam K, Shiny Orc Boy, The Rabbit Mancer, Professor, Hunter Rose, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Kopitio Bozinski, Gabby Hime, Sandy Martin, Verdant Range, Butcher7 Actual, Dashhound, and Bandito Bane. Thank you all so much for the support. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. We also have a buy me coffee if you want to support us that way. But if you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like and subscribe to the channel to see more content from us. That helps us out a lot too, and it's free. So thank you all again, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye everyone. Bye guys.